Apathy is one of the most insidious forces shaping human society, yet it operates largely unnoticed, like an invisible hand that quietly steers the course of history. The paradox embedded in the statement, "The number one problem in our country is apathy, but who cares?" is not just a clever play on words. It is an unsettling reflection of a deeper issue that plagues individuals, communities, and entire civilizations. Apathy, or the lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern, is not just a passive condition. It is an active force that enables stagnation, injustice, and the slow erosion of social progress. The fact that apathy is both a recognized problem and a problem that people do not care enough about to address makes it a self-sustaining cycle, a kind of paradoxical inertia that keeps societies from evolving in the ways they need to. To understand apathy in its full scope, we must look at its roots. Human beings are wired to prioritize their immediate concerns, survival, comfort, and personal well-being. Throughout evolution, this instinct has helped individuals focus on their most pressing needs: food, shelter, and safety. However, in modern societies where survival is less about immediate dangers and more about long-term systemic issues, the same self-preserving instincts that once helped us now contribute to societal indifference. Apathy arises when people feel disconnected from issues that do not seem to directly impact them, when they are overwhelmed by the magnitude of problems facing the world, or when they believe that their individual actions will not make a meaningful difference. The irony is that these very attitudes contribute to the perpetuation of the problems themselves. Apathy is not just a personal failing. It is a systemic phenomenon that thrives in environments where power structures benefit from inaction. Governments, corporations, and institutions that hold influence over society often rely on public disengagement to maintain the status quo. The less people care, the less they participate in decision-making processes, and the easier it becomes for those in power to operate without accountability. This is evident in politics, where voter turnout remains low in many democratic nations, allowing a small percentage of the population to dictate policies that affect everyone. It is visible in social justice movements, where real change is often stalled not by outright opposition, but by widespread indifference. It is seen in climate change, where the looming crisis has been met with decades of inaction because the immediate consequences are not felt equally by all people. Apathy is a tool of control, a silent enabler of corruption, inequality, and environmental destruction. What makes apathy particularly dangerous is that it does not manifest as overt hostility or opposition. It exists in silence, in inaction, in the simple decision to look away rather than engage. Unlike anger or resistance, which at least indicate a level of passion and investment, apathy is an absence of feeling altogether. It is why atrocities can occur in plain sight without intervention. It is why systemic problems persist despite widespread awareness. The psychological phenomenon known as the bystander effect explains this on a smaller scale. When people witness a crisis but assume that someone else will take action, they often end up doing nothing at all. This effect magnifies when applied to societal issues. Everyone assumes that someone else will solve the problems, and as a result, no one does. The rise of apathy in modern society is not accidental. It is reinforced by the very structures that shape our daily lives. Media saturation plays a role, bombarding individuals with a relentless stream of tragedies, scandals, and crises to the point of emotional exhaustion. When people feel overwhelmed, they become desensitized, numbed by the constant exposure to suffering and injustice. The digital age, while connecting people more than ever before, has paradoxically created a culture of detachment where real-world engagement is replaced by passive consumption of information. Social media activism, while valuable in raising awareness, often gives people the illusion that they are contributing simply by sharing a post or liking a cause, without translating that awareness into concrete action. Apathy, in many ways, has become the default state of existence for those who feel powerless in the face of an increasingly complex and chaotic world. Yet, despite its pervasiveness, apathy is not an unbreakable cycle. History has shown that even the most indifferent societies can be stirred into action when they are shaken awake by events too significant to ignore. Revolutions have been sparked by individuals who refuse to be indifferent. Social movements have been fueled by those who choose engagement over passivity. The key to overcoming apathy lies in reconnecting people to the reality that their actions, however small, do matter. The antidote to apathy is not guilt or shame, but empowerment. The understanding that even the smallest acts of engagement contribute to a larger wave of change. One of the most effective ways to combat apathy is through personal investment in issues that matter. When people see direct connections between their lives and the broader societal landscape, they become more inclined to participate. This is why grassroots activism, community organizing, and local engagement are often more effective at mobilizing people than grand, abstract causes. People are more likely to care about education reform when they see its impact on their children, more likely to engage in environmental activism when they witness the effects of pollution in their own neighborhoods, more likely to vote when they understand how policies directly affect their livelihoods. Connection breeds action, and action is what breaks the cycle of apathy. Another crucial factor in overcoming apathy is fostering a culture that values curiosity, empathy, and responsibility. Education plays a significant role in this, as societies that prioritize critical thinking and civic engagement produce citizens who are more informed, more involved, and less likely to accept the world as it is without question. Encouraging people to ask questions, to seek understanding, to step outside their own experiences and see the world through different lenses is essential in disrupting the complacency that apathy breeds. Empathy, in particular, is a powerful counterforce to apathy. When people genuinely connect with the struggles of others, when they see injustice not as an abstract concept but as a human reality, they are far less likely to turn a blind eye. Ultimately, the paradox of apathy is that its very existence relies on its own perpetuation. The less people care, the more deeply ingrained the problem becomes. But the inverse is also true. Every act of engagement, no matter how small, weakens the hold of apathy on society. Apathy thrives in silence. Action, no matter how incremental, is its undoing. The moment one person decides to care, to participate, to take responsibility, they create a ripple effect that has the potential to inspire others. This is how movements begin. This is how change happens. This is how societies evolve. The statement that, the number one problem in our country is apathy, but who cares, is not just a clever observation, it is a call to wake up. It is a challenge to recognize that every individual has the capacity to make a difference. It is a reminder that the greatest threat to progress is not opposition, but indifference. It is an invitation to break the cycle, to choose engagement over passivity, to reclaim the power that apathy seeks to strip away. In a world where so much depends on whether people care enough to act, choosing to care is the most radical, transformative decision one can make.